Hello and welcome to this Game Pit Stop for Spy Club, designed by Jason D. Kingsley and Randy Hoyt, published by Foxtrot Games and Renegade Game Studios. In Spy Club, 2 to 4 players are going to take on the roles of teenage investigators assisting the police with crimes that are taking place in their neighbourhoods. Each crime is going to be composed of 5 different aspects, and it is the player's job to collect 5 of the same colour card down the bottom here to solve that particular aspect and do all 5 aspects before any of the gaming conditions happen, and then they'll have solved the case perfectly. What that means is on a player's turn they get to take 3 different actions, and the actions they can do are: they can investigate. Each of the cards that you have, and this is your hand of clues, has got double-sided, and for one action you can flip as many of these as you wish to. Now, this is a distraction, this pizza, which is stopping you from solving and wasting your time. You can flip that over and make it something more useful. In this case it's a crime card itself, which might help us out later. Maybe we'll flip this one over from the park, we don't need locations at the moment, and it becomes one of the objects, a different aspect, it's a key. And in that way we can unveil different information from the clues we have been given. The second action we can take is to shift our focus. This is our focus token. Now, shifting our focus does a couple of things. Firstly, once you shift it along one space, you see how many cards of this colour that you have in your hand, and you gain idea tokens equal to that number. In this case it's just a 1, so I take 1 idea token from the pool. The other thing you have when you shift focus is that if you are on the same colour with your focus as any of your teammates, in this case we're in perfect harmony, you get to do some teamwork bonus activities which don't take up any of your 3 actions. You can compare notes, which means you can swap cards with each other. Now, we're collecting suspects down here, so it might make sense for me to swap in this dog as a suspect, although I hope he didn't do it, with that key, and then I've got that available to me. The other thing you can do is share idea tokens. Now, why do you want idea tokens? Because the third action you could take on your turn is to confirm a clue. Now, in this case, we do want to add the dog down to this row. Once you've started the colour, you don't have to complete it. You can swap them around as other colours if that's how the cards fall, but we're going to try and finish these purples. So the dog is going to get put down here. You must spend idea tokens to do that, equal to how many spaces away it is from your focus token. This is 1 away, 1 idea back in the pool, and this dog goes into the lineup of likely suspects. The last action you can do is you can scout ahead and you can choose which clue card you take from the row. Now, the one on the left in the deck is going to cost you 2 idea tokens, the one on the furthest right is free, and in the middle, depending if you're playing fewer than 4 players, there may be some there which cost you 1 idea token. Now, I've done my 3 actions already, but I could do that if I wish to. But at the end of my turn, my hand is going to refill anyway, and the row is going to refill, and then it will go on to the next player's turn after the suspect has done something. Well, for the suspect, you reveal a movement card. These movement cards are layered from day into evening into night time, and this is one of the 4 ways in which the case will get closed early before you solve the aspects, is if time runs out on you. There are 2 different types of cards in here. You always line up with the previous played one, and this one tells me that this escape token is going to move up 1, and that's the second way in which the case will get closed early if the escape token ever hits the end there. The other type of movement card you'll find on here is an actual movement token, and in this case this tells me that the suspect is going to move 1 space along clockwise around all the clues. So the suspect comes here, you look at what type of card it is, and then you look at the effect that it has. In this case it's a location, and again that's going to advance the escape marker 1 more, bringing us that much closer to doom. The other effects it can be, if it landed on one of these distraction cards, it would do nothing because the suspect is just as equally distracted by pizza as we are. If it lands on one of these motive cards, all these cards will get flipped over, messing up our carefully made plans. If it lands on one of these suspect cards, we must remove 3 idea tokens from the pool. And that's the third way in which the case can be closed early, if there are never idea tokens left in the pool when they have to be removed. If it lands on one of these locations, it did, we advance the escape marker. If it lands on one of those blue crime cards, you must discard the 2 rightmost incoming clue cards and refill it again. And if those clue cards ever run out, we've run out of clues, that is the 4th way in which the case can be closed early, and we're just going to see how many aspects we've solved at that stage, and that's how well we've done in this particular case. The last one again removes idea tokens. It's equal to the number of aspects you've gone, so it becomes more dangerous to land on objects as you go further through the game. We would then move on to the next player's turn. They would follow 3 of those 4 actions, mixing and matching as they wish to, attempting to solve all of these. Once it's solved, that's 20% of the game done. Now, that is a base game of Spy Club, but really it's designed to be played as a campaign game. And there's a huge campaign deck that comes with it, and it's quite simple rules as you go. And every time you play through, it's a campaign of 5 games. The rules will change every time you do it. This isn't a set deck that you work your way through. What you're doing in the game kind of randomizes which of these cards come into play and how it's going to change the rules. So every campaign will be different. Now, for example, there's been a spoiler sitting here, but it is a very mild one. This is when you solve your very first aspect in your very first game, you would flip this card over. And depending upon which aspect you solved and also which cards you used to solve it, it would reveal another card from in here, and that would immediately, just 20% of the way into your first game, change the rules and make it slightly probably more difficult to do what you wanted to do. This card gets flipped over at the end of your first game, and already you've got a unique campaign going on. And that is how Spy Club is designed to be played. This has been a Game Pit Stop. For more videos like this, check out our channel on YouTube, and for more in-depth coverage of gaming, please find the Game Pit podcast. Thank you.